Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Zone. I am Anthony Pagniello, joined as always by Chris Martelli, Giancarlo Aulino. Boys, today we got the NBA trade deadline. Oh, we're going to kick this off right away with the biggest one. The fucking Indiana Pacers trading Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, and a second round pick to the Sacramento Kings for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Oh my God. I didn't even know Halliburton was available. I don't know about you guys. When that kind of happened, I'm like, all right, two teams. One's in like 12th, the other one's in 13th. Clearly not going anywhere this year. But in terms of the future, I thought Halliburton and Fox would have been a perfect 1-2, and they were going to carry that team into whatever fucking future they have. But like, I don't remember anyone ever saying that they wanted to be in Sacramento other than Tyrese. And he was really showing signs over there. And this trade just completely fucking threw me off guard. So, Chris, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this trade as a whole?
It's the key word is risky for both teams. They traded Sabonis way back OKC for this guy named Paul George, who was there for 8 months. Then he got traded, and I don't want to bash Sacramento's franchise because they've been getting enough hate the last 2 days on social media. But you said it perfectly. There have not been a lot of players that have gotten drafted by Sacramento over the last, I want to say, as long as 10 years that have genuinely said, I want to be a Sacramento King. I want to win with this franchise. We've been struggling for a while. Not to mention Tyrese Halliburton, like you said, like 20 years old, second year in the league. I'm pretty sure he's averaging his assists, I think, have climbed 5 notches. I think last year he averaged 4. This year almost he's at like 8 point something. He's a scary player. He's a scary talent. I remember watching the draft with you, Pagniello, and when he got drafted pretty late, I said right away, that's a steal. He's a lanky guard. He can shoot. He's a playmaker. He brings all that. He's the perfect beneficiary for De'Aaron Fox, and especially this year with De'Aaron Fox, I won't say he's been struggling, just he hasn't been doing what he's done the last couple of years. But it's just like you meant, it's puzzling. I know both teams are in a state where they have no idea what the hell they're doing, but come on, man. Like, I want to say at the beginning of the year, I looked at the Pacers roster was a bonus with Brogdon, with LeVert, with Turner. Yeah, they're not all-star. I mean, Sabonis is an all-star caliber player, but all the others are not, but they're great players. And I thought that, yes, the East has, we've talked about it numerous times, Aulino. The Hornets have gotten better. The Heat have gotten better. So many teams have gotten better. Indiana, I thought, would be the team to not only make the playoffs, but I don't want to, again, this is me just best case scenario. I thought that Indiana could potentially do what Atlanta did last year. And now I know that might seem far-fetched, but you talk about all the guys, all the pieces that they've brought together. Like another reason, like we'll get into it later, obviously, but LeVert getting traded after posting 40 points, that to me, it's like, what are you guys doing? You guys are not as bad as you probably think. Now you get Tyrese Halliburton. Mind you, to me, I still think they won that trade, Indiana. I think Sacramento, they're taking the bigger risk here as a bonus. Again, one of the best playmaking bigs in the league, no doubt about it. But the whole chemistry and the whole mojo in Sacramento has been put on hold for the time being. So you know what, Pagniello? The only words that I have for this trade is risky. And I'll say for both franchises, you said they're both going for a play-in round.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going to become of this, but I'll just pass this to Aulino to kind of add to it.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. Like, this is a type of trade where, like, I'm not against it. It's just these two teams where they are. This is a trade that you would probably like to see in the summer or maybe the draft. Like, it's really risky. Like, Sacramento, for the longest time, it seemed like they were so happy with mediocrity. Just go in ninth place, maybe get another pick to come in, play with Cousins. Then it became, okay, we got De'Aaron Fox. Let's better build around him, get Harrison Barnes, Vince Carter, like it was just one of those teams where you're trying to build something, but you're still mediocre and you're missing a lot of pieces. So maybe with Sabonis now in there, him and Barnes can maybe link up. Fox is going to have to. I think this is a question mark with him. Like he's going to have to distribute the ball a little bit more. I think this just tears up the fit they had. I like Holiday coming in, but I think Indiana and Sacramento, they're not really looking promising for a playoff spot after this.
Do they want to hold on to Harrison Barnes? Or are they looking to trade him? Because I've been hearing this guy's name in trade rumors since he signed that fucking contract.
Absolutely, I think they're going to trade him. His contract is a little pricey. I think they're looking to revamp their roster. And I don't know if the GM is delusional, but he wants to trade Harrison Barnes for a guy that'll make his team better. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what this guy's trying to do. It's not as easy as it seems. Look what happened with OKC. Look what's happened with Portland. Look what's happened with Indiana over the years. It's not that simple. And now with the Pelicans getting CJ McCollum, which we will talk about a little later as well, it just makes this trade a lot more useless. I just feel like both teams were in full panic mode, especially Sacramento, because again, we talk on and on about trade rumors on this podcast. And for the longest time, Fox was linked to any Ben Simmons trade. So I feel like Sacramento just said, you know what? We're not going to get Ben Simmons, but we're going to trade Halliburton. We're going to go out and get Sabonis because we need that 4. And I don't know why they're so infatuated with the power forward. I know Bagley hasn't panned out, but you need, like you mentioned, Pagniello, Fox and Halliburton for the future. That just seemed absolutely amazing. And the fact that they had to just get rid of Halliburton, to me, it's the biggest surprise, arguably, of the year, and maybe of the last couple of years.
This is all fucking Bagley's fault. This all could have been avoided easily. But here's my issue. Yeah, I'm man, like, you know, I love Sabonis. He's great on offense. The type of game he plays, like, he works a lot of the two-man stuff. So with him and De'Aaron Fox, that kind of makes sense. But like, man, De'Aaron Fox, he's not really the best shooter. Sabonis isn't really the best shooter. They just traded their best shooter in this fucking deal, Buddy Hield, going to Indiana. We'll see how long that lasts. So I'm like, as good as these two guys are, I don't think you can build your team around two guys that can't really pull up like that. Would you agree with that, Chris?
Absolutely. And another thing, too, to add to that, Ben Simmons. Why would Sacramento want Ben Simmons? If you really think about it, they want to play power ball. They want to play Chris Webber style ball, I feel like they're kind of stuck in the past. I know they haven't made the playoffs in a very, very long time. I think they hold the longest drought of any NBA team. The fan base is probably in a pure panic, and I don't blame them. The one guy, like you mentioned, that wants to be there, says he wants to be there, gets traded. For, again, a guy that's outstanding. Sabonis is outstanding. It's just there's so many question marks moving forward with Sacramento. To me, if this does end up working out, this could look like one of the better trades, like Aulino mentioned. Like you don't disagree with it, but at the same time, to me, there are way too many question marks, and they don't have the answers right now. And I think they do have the answers, but it's not, like I mentioned, it's not that easy. We've seen Portland have to rip it apart. We've seen the OKC had to rip it apart. It's not that easy. So I really believe in De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis as a 1-2, but you said it perfectly, Pagniello. If you don't have a guy that can shoot the ball in this day and age, in this NBA, the success is going to be very limited.
Like, it's just because it's literally their two best players, and it's not even close. So you know who's running the show over there. So there are times where I could see it working, and then there are other times where I could just see them getting blown the fuck out by 40 points.
Do you think that they should have went after, like, I know it might be a stretch, but instead of Sabonis, maybe add another third team in the mix and maybe just go after the draft picks and use this year. Like you're close into play-in, but let's be real, they're probably not going to go far in the playoffs there. So do you think they should have maybe used Sabonis as leverage there and add a third team to get another first-round pick or second-round pick?
Oh, man. I'm going to say yeah to that one just because I assume they're not making it. I know the Kings are close, and if everything goes right, they could, but I assume they were more in that retool mode. So if they were going to trade a guy like Halliburton, which just saying it boggles my mind, I assume they were going to get a bunch of picks back, but it looks like they're going for it with Sabonis. I can't even fucking tell because if Harrison Barnes is available, like it's like, okay, we got our guy, but now we're trading another one of our guys. So like I don't even know.
Yeah, I agree with Pagniello there. I feel like they don't know what state they're in, and that's normal. A lot of GMs don't necessarily. It's not that they don't know. Maybe they don't want to accept it. I think Harrison Barnes is a hell of a player. I think they would be stupid to trade him, especially the last 2 years, the way he's played and the way he's gelled with those type of guys. And he could be a great role model for De'Aaron Fox and for Davion Mitchell's growth. So if Harrison Barnes gets traded, it's just another question mark. And to add to that, why are they in win now mode? I just saw an article where they want to get another player that will put them, quote unquote, put them over the hump. I don't know what the hump is. I know they have to go over teams in the standings like the Spurs, like the Lakers are there, the Clippers, the Pelicans. Oh my God, they've improved tremendously. I don't see as much as Sabonis, as much of a great player as Sabonis is, and the potential that I still believe in for De'Aaron Fox. I don't see this working out, and I think Halliburton, guys, honestly, I would not be surprised by the end of the year he's averaging 21 and 9. I just think he's that good. I think he's better than De'Aaron Fox. I think he has a higher ceiling, and I think they completely goofed this one. I'm not going to lie.
Who would they even get? Because like when you look at who's left on that team, if they were going to make a trade to improve their team, it's Harrison Barnes and maybe Holmes. I don't know what they're thinking over there. I assume they fucking love Davion Mitchell if he was the guy to stay. Maybe they originally pitched him in the deal and they're like, nah, fuck that. We're not doing it unless it's Tyrese. But I honestly don't think they can do anything to improve their team unless they package Harrison Barnes for someone. But I think we should go to the Pacers side now and talk about Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield. So, Aulino, I'm going to kick it with you. Do the Pacers have a chance, or is this building for the future?
Nah, man, they don't have a chance. I think, I don't know, Buddy Hield, I think, is just a rental. I think they have plans to trade him again. He's going to be one of those guys that attract interest. Like, he's not the youngest player, even though it seems crazy. Like, he's been in the league for a while, but, like, he's not a guy that you're building your future around. I think he's going to be a good complementary piece to a contender. So I think right now his bags are still packed. He's probably not unpacking anything in case a team comes out there with another offer. But I think Buddy Hield's going to be a good piece on a contending team if he is still available tomorrow.
I think when you look at Indiana, I think they're one of the rare teams in the league that are actually doing it right. And they did this trade. They get Halliburton, Hield, and one other guy. And I think when you get a guy like Halliburton, and he's 20, 21 years of age, you're building for the future. I don't see Miles Turner lasting. I think he's getting dealt, which is another huge piece. Justin Holiday was massive on that team. I know he never really put up the points, but to me, he was kind of like that Marcus Smart glue guy on Indiana. At this point in time, Pagniello, I don't know if you want to agree or disagree with me. I think Brogdon's days as a Pacer are over. I don't see him lasting maybe another year. To me, they got to go all in for the first pick this year. I feel like they're building for the future. If Chet Holmgren's available, I'm taking him. Definitely if I'm Indiana, you could build a solid core, a solid foundation around Holmgren, Halliburton, and others. And again, like Aulino said, I see Hield being a rental too. I don't see him lasting. but I think that's exactly what they want to do. I think the Pacers are in the same boat as the Thunder were about 14 months ago.
Man, I don't think they're that bad though to fucking tank out and get and Holmgren, because they got the Pistons and Magic are just like next level shit. I don't know if they're, but I will disagree with you on the Turner one. I feel like I don't know if like he could get traded. I've been hearing his name too for a while, but he just fits their system kind of better. I don't know how much Pacers basketball you guys watch, but like when Sabonis has it, it's like a lot of guys in the league. He has it, everything stops moving, and it's just a two-man game. Turner kind of everything flows kind of better when he's in the lineup. So with him and Tyrese, I think that over time could be fucking magic. I don't know, but yeah, you guys got anything left on the Pacer side of things?
I just feel like with Turner, there's so much you can get a lot for Turner. I think that's why I see him going. Just the last 2 years, his blocks per game have just steadily increased. He's a unicorn type of guy. If he's in a right setting, Pagniello, I could see him averaging 18. And I know it's been a hard road for him in terms of points per game. I don't think he's averaged over 15 once in his career yet. But I do see a lot of potential in Miles Turner. He's only 26 years old. He's already a young vet in the league. Like I know it's risky, especially for Indiana, but I think Holmgren, like this guy is going to be money, and I know already teams are calling for Miles Turner. I think it just depends on what they think Halliburton can bring to the team. I know they think he's going to be just a superstar in the making, but in terms of right now, or maybe the window, I don't know what they see, because you did mention the Magic and the Pistons are ass. They are the two worst teams in the East. But now I know the Pacers, they were good on paper, but they're not that far off, man.
Fucking,
Yeah,
I think
Magic are just bad. Like I don't know where they're going with that team, but like if there's ever a team that's gonna tank, good luck, because you got tough competition with the Magic. They're just forever 15th in the standings.
fuck. I think you know what though, man. I think it's a bigger gamble if you trade Turner, because if you're really banking on that Holmgren kid, like it's a lot of luck's got to go into the draft. Maybe you can make a trade after if you don't get him, but like let's assume you don't fill that position. You trade Sabonis, you trade Turner within 2 fucking days, and now that spot is empty. And now for the Pacers, for the longest time, we're loaded in that position, and now we gambled and traded both of them, and now we're fucked. Because after Turner, who the fuck is in that spot? Because I actually have no idea. Is
It's
it fucking
Goga?
I don't know what that is, buddy.
Goga Bitadze. He was
Well,
first rounder 2 years ago. I know it's a funny name.
but
I do see your point, though. They will be very shallow. They will be very shallow.
like even for the Pacers, like it was a gamble. I think it could be a gamble that works in their favor, getting rid of Sabonis for Halliburton. But if you do it for Turner again, it's like, oh fuck, we better win within 5 years. But is it safe to say Buddy Hield's just gonna magically find his way on the Lakers or what?
Oh man.
Yeah, he's going to LA. I don't know which team, but he's going to LA.
Man, I know he was the throw-in, and everyone just his name's always out there, and now it just seems like an afterthought. But like Aulino said, he's a great fucking shooter, and he can definitely help a team. So if he's a throw-in again today or tomorrow or whatever, man, whoever gets him, that's a big get.
Absolutely.
But I think we should move on here from this fucking disaster. Move on to another disaster in Portland.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
We'll break this one down. So Portland trades fucking Tony Snell, Larry Nance Jr., and CJ McCollum, end of an era, to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Thomas Satoransky, a first and 2 seconds. Conditions on the picks. That's a lot going on there. So, did you guys hear Stephen A's take about it? Like 2 hours after it happened?
No, I didn't. I wish I did though.
Fucking blasphemy! Fuck, so upset. Because if you're not going to the Lakers, the Knicks, the 76ers, or the Nets, it's a terrible fucking trade. Because every good player in the league should go to one of the top 5 teams. And that was basically his thing.
Yeah, he has a very small. I don't want to call Stephen A out or anything, but when he talks about NBA, he only cares about like 6 teams. He doesn't really care about anyone else, and there's only so many freaking players in the league. Can't go to every guy can't go to the Lakers. So I mean, I guess I'll start it off. Like, this trade is brutal for so many reasons. I know for sure in my heart that CJ McCollum is the best shooting guard that they have had in a very, very long time. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum have been together for 10 seasons now. Nikhil, if they traded CJ McCollum in hopes that Nikhil Alexander-Walker could be like CJ McCollum, they're flat out delusional because he's never going to be that player. Josh Hart, I know Pagniello, you like him. I don't see the fit here. I don't know how. I know a lot of people are saying he's going to ball, he's going to get more touches, but that's not going to translate into wins. That's not really going to translate into much. So the fact that New Orleans got CJ McCollum, who is a top 25 player in the NBA, they got Larry Nance Jr., who is arguably, he could be a 6th, 7th man on a really, really good team, and another guy in Tony Snell who could just be, he's an absolute great defender. Like, I don't know. I know Portland, they're ripping it up, but they could have gone a different way here. I know there's potential in Nikhil, but he's not going to be like a CJ McCollum. No way.
Well, there's some breaking Woj news on that front. So I guess they listened to you, Chris, about Alexander Walker. He got traded again. He's now a member of the Utah Jazz, and oh man, they traded Ingles the other way. So the poor guy's injured, and now they traded him. Oh my
God!
So Alexander Walker is now a member of Utah.
Are you kidding me? That's a terrible trade.
He dodged a bullet there. That poor guy. Good for him. I'm happy.
Oh, Portland, the owner doesn't give a shit, does he? He doesn't care about anything. Oh my! You're trading Nikhil Alexander-Walker, who would have been your starting shooting guard, for a guy that's injured. Oh.
Were there any picks in this, or is it just 1 for 1?
Oh yeah. So this is the whole trade. So Utah get Alexander Walker. Spurs Juancho Hernan Gomez in a 3-team deal. Spurs get Thomas Satoransky and a 2nd-round pick, and the Blazers get Ingles, Elijah Hughes, and a 2nd-round pick. So they're loading up for cap space for God knows what.
So Portland's got Josh Hart now from that deal. Is that it?
Pretty much.
I don't know where to start there.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, man! If I'm CJ McCollum, I'm livid. What the hell? What do they see his value to be? Are you kidding me?
I would have held on to him, Nikhil, for if I was Portland. I'm not saying build the fucking team around him, but that's a bit of a head scratcher. I don't even.
Oh, dude, I don't even have words. I don't want to swear, but oh my God, what the hell is that?
And he's only 23 years old, so just even more weird from Portland. But I mean, I don't know what they're thinking.
On the bright side of that, Utah, that's a pretty low key. That's a good trade for them because you already have Clarkson off the bench, and now you add Nikhil Alexander-Walker. It could ease off some pressure off Mitchell, even though it probably won't. But it could ease some pressure off him. That's nuts. Wow. Fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, Pelicans, I think, won that. They got a solid group over there. If on the Pelicans front office, that was a job well done. That was a solid trade.
You think for Portland, though, they wanted, because I like the pieces they originally got back. But do you think it was something like we want one young player and 3 first-rounders, and they just couldn't get it? And then it just came down to the day before where they're like, fuck it.
I really hope so because CJ McCollum is that good. I think his numbers speak for himself. He's been averaging over 20 since 2015. He's won the most improved player. He's devoted a lot of time and energy in Portland. So the fact now that the end result is basically McCollum for Ingles and Hart, I really don't have any words, man. Like I really hope McCollum now balls the hell out in New Orleans.
We'll go to the New Orleans side then, because CJ and Ingram, that's a pretty filthy 1-2 punch there. You got our boy JV down low, playing the best basketball of his career, I think.
By far.
They got a lot of nice pieces. I think a lot of people forget too. Like they started off, I don't know the numbers, but like holy fuck, wasn't it something like horrendous? Like they had a few wins in the first month of the season, 2 or 3.
If I remember correctly, I think they started 2-11.
Oh man, and JV got his 50-point game.
Oh. Yeah, because Ingram, he was missing time too, so it was basically like JV and like fucking Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander. Oh my god! And now you look at it, and they're in a play-in spot, 1 win over the Trailblazers. So,
but that's how you manage. That is how you manage. They did it perfectly. Like they know Ingram and Zion are out. Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander Walker's minutes go up. The production goes up. So the manager's like, who could I go get? These guys are not bad. Look, they're putting up 18 points per game. Josh Hart's putting up like 11 boards a game. This is the definition of how management should be run. And Portland, you got some stuff to learn.
So let's I'm going to assume they make this, especially picking up CJ. Like we were saying before, like it's pretty close. The Kings are a few wins behind. Portland's probably going to fall back now. DeJounte Murray is fucking carrying the Spurs. But Aulino, I want to ask you, let's assume fucking that Zion kid's not coming back. With CJ and Ingram and JV, can they upset one of the LA teams in the play-in round?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because CJ's an upgrade over Josh Hart. Like, I know Josh Hart was playing well and everything, but, like, if you get CJ McCollum, who looks like he's getting back into the mix there, like he had that bad injury or the health issues there, but now that he's starting to get fully healthy, you got to add him there with Ingram. Plays off well with those guys because he can shoot. He's not a guy that just drives to the basket. You got JV there. I think they have a solid rotation. And if Zion comes back, this team definitely, you put him in the mixer for contending in the West. But if he's not motivated and they want to trade him, I would look at maybe Philly as an option. Like, what if you got Ben Simmons and a bunch of picks out of it and trade Zion? Would you be open to that for your Pelicans GM?
Trade Zion where, to Philly?
Yeah, and you get Simmons and then like a bunch of picks and maybe Seth Curry.
Oh, you start with that one. I want to hear what you say.
I'll say no. I don't think that would be smart for New Orleans because it's just, I mean, you think about it and it seems like a good fit. Because again, I'm going to chirp him. Ben Simmons, he's not a good shooter. He'll average probably like 14 if he were to go to New Orleans. He'd probably shoot like 6 times a game. It sounds good, but I'm thinking of what Zion can bring to this team. He's already got chemistry with Ingram. The fans absolutely adore him. Ben Simmons is one of the more hated guys in the league. I don't see that panning out. If it does happen, if you see Zion and Embiid on the same team at full strength, yeah, like there's no one guarding them. Nobody can guard them. So no, he's not a bust, but I'm saying if he is healthy with Embiid and the way that Embiid usually likes to lift his teammates, I think that would just be an absolute nightmare. So I'll say no for now.
Aulino, who's pitching that trade? Is it Philly? Oh yeah, Philly for sure. If I'm New Orleans, I'm keeping him. But like, I would actually listen. Like, I would low key say, yeah, we're listening to offers just to see how stupid some of these GMs are, because there are GMs that are desperate and they would say, yeah, we'll give you whatever you want. We'll pay the ransom for them. But like Chris mentioned there, if you have Zion come back to this team, man, New Orleans, I think, a fully healthy team there. JV was like the missing piece, I thought. Like Steven Adams was good, but that trade I think worked out amazing for them. That's a team that could contend for a title.
I'd entertain the phone call. I'm with you. I just feel like you're trading. It's like one issue for another issue, but they're totally different things. I just feel like if they both got it together, Simmons and Zion would just be that much better. And with Embiid, like I don't think I'd watch basketball until one of them retires. It's like
Exactly.
4 or 5. How the fuck? How do you draw something up to get around those two big fucks, assuming they're both healthy?
By the way, with Harris at the 3.
Oh no, he's getting the fuck out of there. If Zion comes in, absolutely not. Oh my god, like 6 max players.
Yeah, you know what, man? I feel like Ben Simmons. Let's transition now. I want to transition to just talking about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons probably getting a lot of calls out there. I'll start with Pagniello. Is it realistic to assume? I just want to say assume. I don't want to say confirm or any of that. But is it safe to assume that Ben Simmons going to Brooklyn, matching up and pairing up with a guy like Kevin Durant, as good as James Harden is that something that Brooklyn should not miss out on? Like, do you think that Ben Simmons going to Brooklyn? Because I think, honestly, the more that I think about it and the way that James Harden has carried, I don't know, there's just something with his attitude there. I don't see him wanting to be there at all. So do you think if Ben Simmons goes there, how much better can Brooklyn be, if any?
A lot fucking better. Much better. Here's the thing. Ben has got to get it together. Because I still talk about him like he's the fucking 3-time all-defensive team guy. And
this guy praises him, yeah.
He's fucking great. He just can't fucking shoot. I feel like there are a few teams in the league that can maybe... I feel like if he was on the Raptors, they would fucking fix his shot. And they'd be like, listen, motherfucker, it's not going to happen the way you want it to. You're fixing your game, and this is what we're doing. But, Harden's 33. Simmons is 24. You look at Brooklyn's future, they don't fucking have one because they traded it all for James. One of those guys is in the All-Star game this year. Man, I would so entertain that. It's another huge gamble because Ben's nowhere to be found. But for what he's done already, I know he's got a ton of issues, but for what Ben has done already, and then you pair him with KD, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? I'd entertain that. Not one for one, of course. But
yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm with you. 1 for 1, absolutely not. But it's gonna get to a point because I'm just gonna pull up this tweet here that's circling around, and it's not looking so good if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan. James Harden is pushing for a trade to Philly. I can't tell you how much James Harden wants us. He is screaming in every way he possibly can. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. So everything's going well over there in Brooklyn, as you can see.
Do you blame him?
They have it all under control.
They have been the worst team the last 2 weeks in the league.
Oh yeah, they lost 9.
Here's my problem with Harden going to Philly. If he thinks it's going to be as bright as it was in Brooklyn, he's got another thing coming. I know Embiid is arguably better than Kevin Durant right now. Holy shit, that's a hot take. But he's right there. James Harden has to improve his attitude. And I'm going back now to when he got traded from Houston. Because I thought that was just going to be a one-off where he's like, you know what? He was with Houston for 12? No, not 12 years, 8 years. He gave everything to that city. For God's sakes, he averaged over 30, I think 2 or 3 times. So the fact that he had all that, I got to get this my way. I have to have it this way. I got it at that time. But as of right now, the way he's been playing and the way his just attitude is, if I'm Philly, I love James Harden, but I don't know if that's it. I don't know. Harden and Embiid on the same team is a flat-out problem. But I don't think they would beat Milwaukee, honestly. I don't see it happening.
Who would have to give up more in that deal?
Philly, believe it or not, probably. Because Ben Simmons, like you said, MIA.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think now. Let's assume you got the 1-for-1, and then Philly throws in who? Would it be a Maxey or a Curry in picks?
Oh, it's probably a salary, so probably Curry.
Well, man, I feel like if I'm Brooklyn, I'm pushing for Maxey just based off what I have down the line.
I don't think he's available though. I think they've vocalized that he's not available.
You know what? I didn't think Tyrese Halliburton was available, but look where we are today.
Exactly.
But, I'm gonna ask Aulino this. Let's assume Harden goes to Philly and they get bounced in the first or second round or something. Do you think James is gonna get that reputation of fucking teams up and not being able to win?
Oh man, I think he would, unfortunately, because I think he has good intentions here on Brooklyn. I don't know what the whole thing. I think it all started. They used Kyrie Irving, the whole vaccine thing, as the starting point. I don't think that's true, but I don't know. Like it looked like it was working with Westbrook. They just didn't have. They went small ball, and after they got COVID, so I think that ruined their plans of making a deep run when they lost to the Lakers. But like this one is really weird. Like they have a team that should win, and if they don't win, it's a bust. So like you got to trade them either to Philly or send them to a team that gives you the biggest return, because they sent out a lot just to get them, and it didn't really work out. So their future is kind of like what they did with the Celtics trade when they just traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. This might be one of those trades that you're in a similar situation, even with Kevin Durant on the roster.
He already has that reputation, man. I hate to say it. Harden and Westbrook already have that reputation. They've had it for, I want to say, a year and a half. Since the Houston experiment did not work, and we saw what Westbrook was able to do with Houston. I remember the beginning of his tenure with Houston. It did not go as planned. But then as it went on, just like last year with Washington, he got a little better. But again, I feel like these are two guys that are too ball dominant. Their usage rates over their careers, dude, is way higher than LeBron's. And that is concerning. They're both offensively, I mean, not Westbrook, not as much anymore, but Harden is that offensively gifted player that he's been allowed to do it for so long, whereas now he even vocalized to the media that I don't like the position I'm in Philly. I don't want all this offensive responsibility. I don't even know what that means, because that's what he's good at. He's not good defensively at all. So the fact that he's saying he doesn't want the ball as much, that just shows right there that he doesn't want to be in Brooklyn. He doesn't want to be there. He hasn't, ever since the whole again, like Aulino says, a lot of people are blaming the Kyrie Irving vaccine on why Harden doesn't want to be there. I just feel like it's now finally looking like it's the results. I think he's looking a little bit into the future too. I think he sees himself with Kevin Durant as like, you know what? I've been the best player on my team for so long. I come here, I'm arguably the third option, even though Kyrie should be the third, but Harden is. It's just, to me, dude, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand what's gone wrong, what's changed his attitude. Because, dude, I want to say a month ago or right before Kevin Durant got injured, they were smiling, they were having fun, they were winning. As soon as Kevin Durant goes down, bam, there goes the season. James Harden doesn't look motivated. Kyrie Irving, God, there's some games. It looks like he doesn't even want to be out there, even though he's putting on quite a show. It's just, I feel like I don't feel like they respect Steve Nash, as crazy as that sounds as a coach. I feel like there's something there, because every time I watch a Brooklyn game, all I hear is Steve Nash has to make an adjustment. Steve Nash is new. Steve Nash is this. It's his first run as a coach. And I feel like a lot of players, like the Kevin Durants, like the James Hardens, the guys that have been here for 13, 14 years now in the league, I feel like if it's a new coach, they don't have that much respect, as great of a player Steve Nash was. So, dude, I don't know what to expect with Harden come today or tomorrow, but I do expect that this Brooklyn experiment, just like what Aulino said, it's giving me KG Paul Pierce vibes all over again.
You know what's fucking boggled my mind the most? They've lost 9 in a row with these guys in the lineup.
Man,
2 out of 3 of them, for the most part. And Patty Mills is still there, but like, there's no depth on this team. So, where do you go from here? Because I feel like they're 2 or 3 years away from like being the worst team in the league for a while.
They are, man. That's just how it is. I feel like it's them and the Clippers who are going to be in that situation. Because as much as I love Kawhi,
that was my final prediction this year.
that's not happening, man. That's not happening unless Kevin Durant comes back and just absolutely goes off, which I don't doubt at all. But still, the East is a lot harder this year than it has been in a couple of years, and I love to see it. I love the competitiveness, but dude, you make those risks. Sometimes it absolutely bites you in the ass, and sometimes you get 3 rings in 5 years. So we've seen both spectrums. I feel like it's just going to get worse for Brooklyn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the Brooklyn fans listening. It's not going to get any better.
Can you imagine Russell Westbrook being reunited? And that would be the way to bring everybody together again. One big happy family. Westbrook, Durant, and Harden.
Oh my God, no.
Wheel them down. What are they trading?
Oh, Kyrie, and then get Serge Ibaka from the Clippers buyout after, when he gets bought out. Yeah, bring them all back together. I'd like to see it.
Bring back Kendrick Perkins too.
But since Russ was brought up, guess we'll go to the Lakers. What the fuck's going on over there? Chris.
Oh, yeah, the Lakers. Great team, man. I said Chip, remember? You remember that? That was fun.
You did.
And that was me being a cocky little shit. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think twice. I was like, yeah, Chip, no worries. Carmelo, Westbrook, AD, LeBron. Oh, yeah, they're winning a chip, no problem. But like I just said with Brooklyn, worst case scenario. And that's exactly what's happened. I guess I'll pass it to Aulino because I saw a picture on Bleacher Report last night. Anthony Davis looking pissed. LeBron James looking pissed. Carmelo Anthony looking pissed. But then you look at Russell Westbrook, and this guy's smiling. He's rubbing LeBron James's head. I don't know. You have James Harden, who wants to get the hell out of, like you just showed us the tweet. He's screaming to get out of Brooklyn. And you're playing with a guy like Kevin Durant, which to me is mind-boggling. And now Russell Westbrook, as bad as he's been playing, is smiling on the bench. It's like he just assumes he's getting traded to the 5th team in 4 years. I don't know what the hell is going on with Westbrook. Dude, it pains me so much. I remember the 2016 Westbrook, the monster that he was. He looks like a shell of himself. He doesn't look motivated. He might have to come off the bench, man. I don't know what the hell the problem is. I know guys like Stephen A., guys like Kendrick Perkins, guys like Dwayne Wade, all these guys are saying the same thing. You know, just keep your head up, kid. Just you got to slow down the pace. You're not going to outrun these guys. You're a little bit older now, but you got to use your athleticism and strength to your advantage. And again, time and time again, man, this is not the same Russell Westbrook. He's not driving as much. He's taking stupid contested mid-range shots, and he's bricking them. He looks like Paul George in the bubble 2 years ago. I don't know what's going to happen, honestly, with Westbrook. I don't know what the return is. I did see that there was one trade. Aulino, you actually put it before the pod went up in the article. It was Westbrook, DeAndre Jordan, Wayne Ellington, all these salary cap dumps for more salary cap dumps for Kemba Walker, Fournier, and Burks. But you know what? I don't even think that return is – I don't even think that's acceptable because Russell Westbrook – he is that good. I saw it last year in Washington. I had him in fantasy. He is that good of a player. I just don't know why it's turned out this bad. Is it because he's playing with LeBron and the pressure? I have no idea, man. But all I know is come tomorrow, Russell Westbrook is 100% getting traded. He is the scapegoat, no doubt about it.
Oh, man, I think Russell Westbrook Mission accomplished. He got his revenge, and he sacrificed a championship to do it. Remember all those years ago, people would go into OKC and say, oh, with their little super teams, and like, oh, yeah, Westbrook's going to have a good night, but we're going to have a nice win here. Let's be real. I think Westbrook took that a little personally, and he's been biding his time all these years, and now he put himself on a super team, and he destroyed it from within, and now he's smiling about it because he knows what he did. They're going to make him the scapegoat. And yeah, 14 made baskets, 14 turnovers. Shooting is horrible. But as soon as he gets traded, I think he's going to be back to an MVP caliber point guard. So I go Russell Westbrook is going to be a steal for whoever trades for him. And I think Dallas needs to pick up the phone and put it together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Are you guys out of your fucking mind on Dallas?
Jalen Brunson.
Luka in a year and a half is going to be like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
It's a recurring theme in the league. I love it.
Aulino, was it you that called it with Russ?
Oh,
right after. He was like, yeah, he's going to fuck up the chemistry. And we're like, if it could go right. And you're like, nah, he's fucking it up.
Hold on, I want to take a step back for a second. Aulino calls everything, okay? This guy is a voodoo. He calls everything. So everything Aulino says, for the most part, happens. So I'm not surprised at all. Aulino, if he does go to Dallas, I want to see him and Luka compete for triple doubles every night. That would be hilarious.
Stealing the ball off the rim from each other and fighting each other.
Both triple double, lose by 18 though. Yep.
Get outscored 41-17 in the fourth.
They're both on the court, losing by 30. There's 22 seconds left in the game, and they're both fighting for the last rebound, whoever gets a triple-double.
I remember there was one game earlier on in the year. I think it was Austin Reeves. He stole the rebound from Russ, and Russ was like a suck for like 4 possessions. It was so funny.
Man, I think you said it before. He just has the fucking ball too much. Like, I see LeBron standing in the corner waiting for like a 3-pointer. That shouldn't be his job. It's frustrating. So I know I said it jokingly before, but they could use a Buddy Hield to fucking stand in the corner and do that. Because when LeBron's doing that and Russ is trying to do everything, like Aulino said last year, it kind of fucks things up.
I'll ask this now because I'm actually kind of curious after seeing the article that Aulino posted with the New York Knicks trade. Now, there have been rumors with John Wall all year. He's sitting out. He's not playing for Houston. If you are trading Russell Westbrook, are you trading him for Kemba or are you trading him for a guy like a John Wall? Because Kemba Walker, to me, can be like a Buddy Hield, but the last 2 years have told another story. So again, it would be very, very risky. But again, at this point in time, like we all said, Pelinka, I think, even admitted it like a couple nights ago. Players are demanding that this team has to change. And we've mentioned time and time again that they're not trading AD, they're not trading Melo, they're not trading LeBron. It's Russell Westbrook. So I'll ask this to Pagniello first. If you can't get Buddy Hield somehow, are you going after Kemba or are you going after a guy that's similar to Russell Westbrook and John Wall?
If I had to pick between the two, I'm easily going Kemba Walker. And I fucking love John Wall. He's incredible. But, like, where is he?
Apparently Houston's not playing him. I don't know why, but apparently he wants to trade out. I don't know what's going on there, but he's healthy. He's just not playing.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, if they were both at their best and they were all healthy and all these hypotheticals, John Wall, like, he's that fucking guy, but he's just run into so many issues in the past with his knees. But with Kemba's always been a killer. For me, it's just this year, I feel like this entire year is a hiccup. Because even with Boston, he was producing. Even if it wasn't like he wasn't totally on his game, the numbers were still there. This year, I have no fucking clue what's going on. So as long as he's healthy, if he's in a different situation, maybe I feel like Kemba can get it going again. So between the two, I'll go Kemba Walker.
Yeah, Kemba would make the most sense just because his contract isn't like it's manageable, but for fit wise, I think John Wall because he's actually healthy and if he comes in, he's been off for a long time, so you don't have to worry about nagging injuries. Like he's had time to heal. It's just he's making a shit ton of money. And then Westbrook, you're gonna convince him to go back to Houston. I don't think that's gonna work out. So I think this is a big 3-team trade, and maybe it's Indiana bringing out Buddy Hield, and we maybe have a 4-team just to make the salaries work, and some teams like swap draft picks. But if it's Westbrook with John Wall, I think there's going to be another team involved because I don't see Westbrook reporting to the Houston Rockets.
If Westbrook goes to Indiana, I'm going to take back everything I said about that trade.
Oh my. I can't even see him in the East.
I guess I want to just conclude. It's already at the 15-minute mark. I'll conclude with 2 names here because they're both really good players. They're not superstars, but they're really good players. I'll start with you, Pagniello. We've been talking about this guy for a little bit, and you don't like him. Julius Randle. He's been amazing for the last 2 years. I've had him in fantasy. Ever since the thumbs down thing that he did to the fans, I feel like that was the last straw. As good as he's been, what do you think he brings to another team? And do you think he's as good as he believes he is?
As he believes he is, absolutely not. But he could bring a lot to another team. I don't think he should be your best player. I said that to you last year. I'm like they went on a fucking miracle run. He's awesome. He'll put up stats, but he's not really that guy. Ideally, if he's your second or third best player, yeah, go for it. But similar to Russ, it's going to be like a similar breakdown. I feel like he just tries to do too much. He tries to force too much. He fucks up the chemistry of the game. He's a 6'9". I don't know how much he fucking weighs. The guy's huge, and he's doing these step back threes, and like when he's not supposed to. And oh man, I don't know with him. He's a super talented guy. I still feel like there's more levels to his game, but would they trade him already? Fuck.
Yeah, it looked like the Kings here were, I guess, interested, but then they just went and got Sabonis instead. So, like, what do you think they're even asking for at that point for them to get Sabonis for that kind of trade? Like Randall, you would think a guy who is probably in consideration for an MVP, and like everything that happened now with the thumbs down thing, think this guy's in the WWE right now. But what do you do with Randall?
That's just that's the one thing that I saw in his tenure in New York. I saw that coming. I said, as good as he's been, what did he average last year? 25, 10, and 6, something like that. As good as he was unbelievable last year. But to me, it was always going to be his ego and the fan base, because New York, when you look at the history and what they put Porzingis through, it's just, I had a feeling that this was going to be a little pit stop for Randall. I don't see him staying here. Dude, I guarantee teams are out there. They're kicking, they're calling the Knicks for Randall, because, again, if I'm the Knicks and you look at the place that they're in, they were in the playoffs last year. They're struggling this year. RJ Barrett has relatively struggled all year. Cam Reddish, they're playing him like 10 minutes a night. That can't happen. But if I'm the Knicks, per se, if you can try and get a guy that's at least at Randall's level and can improve the team in aspects that Randall can't, I'm easily pulling the trigger. It's just, I don't know what his value is to other teams in the league, because like we always talk about with values, like we talk about with Ben Simmons with Philly, how like they're asking for the world. For God's sakes, they were asking for Fox and Halliburton. I feel like the Knicks might be in that same boat with Randall. So it's either he's going to get traded or he's locked there.
I'm going to throw a team out there. Just wanted your thoughts on it. You brought it up before. What about Dallas? Because I don't see them holding on to Porzingis long term.
What is that? Is that Randall for KP straight up?
Oh, there's other shit involved, but I think it would. Oh no, not for KP straight up. Just for, I can't see him going back there. That'd be fucking disastrous.
That's what I was just gonna say.
You'd probably say, I'm out for the season. I might have to retire.
Just for the fit of Randle being in Dallas, and then that could be like a 3-person deal. We'll say 3-team deal.
Can you guys see Randle on the Spurs?
Ooh. Initial thought was no, just because I don't want them to fuck up what they got going on. Honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like
Bulls.
Oh no, not the Bulls.
Trade Zach LaVine for Julius Randle.
No. But I was actually going to bring up the Bulls to close the show. Jeremy Grant is rumored to go to the Bulls. Now, the Bulls are 0-5 this year against top-tier teams. And, again, Pagniello, 2 years ago, you were laughing at this team. They're in first. They get DeRozan. He's an MVP type of guy this year. LaVine is looking like he's thriving as the second, third option, and Vooch is an absolute monster. So if you are Chicago, are you trading a guy like Patrick Williams and Derrick Jones Jr. for a guy like Grant?
Fuck. I'm gonna say no, but that's a good deal. I feel like Chicago did everything they wanted to coming into this season. Like, I don't know if I would but I don't know if I would mess with their bench, especially like Kobe White there too. I feel like they might be giving up too much for him. But like, yeah, with LaVine, DeMar, and Vucevic, that's pretty competitive in the East, and they're still fairly new playing with each other. There's still levels to their game that's going to improve. So I don't know if they have to. It'll definitely improve them. I don't know if it's necessary though, honestly.
It's just because I look at their record against the big clubs, and they're 0-5, and they haven't looked competitive at all against those teams. So that's why I have to put a move out there like that. I know it sounds like they're going in the same direction as a Miami Heat, but it looks like they have to.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. What about a team like, I don't know, I was kind of thinking Cleveland over them.
Oh, nah, they just got LeVert. I don't see them getting anyone else, man. I think they're good.
Yeah, but like, I'm not crazy about Markkanen. So I feel like
Markkanen. Yeah, he's not that good. He's okay.
I'm surprised with the fucking you bringing up Grant. I just feel like, I don't know why. I feel like he was gonna play this contract out for some reason. Like he left Denver, got a big payday. They got Cade Cunningham, and I'm like, that's a pretty sweet combo that can do for now, and then he'll make bank elsewhere because the guy, he's still in his 20s, right? So you bringing that up, I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, he'll probably be on the Lakers anyway.
I just feel like, Aulino, I want you to kind of expand on it. I feel like they're only doing that, Detroit, because of this whole COVID situation. Because you look at like Jeremy Grant 2 years ago coming into Detroit, we had no idea what he was capable of. I think he averaged 14 that year, or correct. I think it was maybe more than that. But that last year with Denver, he was like the sixth man. And then like he goes to Detroit, he thrives. I just feel like, man, they're at that point. You look at Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham. I think they just want what's best for Grant. And I feel like Grant has vocally said, listen, I'm playing the best ball of my career. I'm in my prime. Can you try and bring me to a contender? Because he's not having it, man. As quiet, as humble as Grant is, I don't see him liking what's going on right now. Like he's 28, 29, I think. I feel like this is where he's got to kind of pull his pants up and say, hey, like I wanna maybe go to another team. I'm averaging 20 here. I know it's nice here. You guys have a bright future, but my time is now.
Do you think he's a guy off the bench though, or do you think he's a starter? Like I know in Detroit he's a starter, but like if you go to a team, let's say the Raptors or like Chicago, like, is he really going to be a guy that's demanding the ball in a starting lineup?
The first thing I thought of is no, he's not a starter, especially if he goes to the Bulls. But again, the only hole they have in their whole roster there is the power forward, because I don't know if you guys have watched. DeMar DeRozan has been playing power forward So
Yeah.
I feel like Grant would be a really, really good fit, and it would benefit tremendously guys like Levine and DeRozan down the stretch. So I think if there is one team out there that is in the playoffs and they're comfortably in the playoffs, I think it's Chicago. I think they should make the call. I know they took Patrick Williams 4th overall, but man, I think Grant would be one of the greatest fits in Chicago.
Can he play the 3? Do you know? Or is he just a power forward?
He's both. He could play both. He's got that.
All right,
pace.
I'll throw Memphis in there because that's clearly Ja fucking team, but he could probably play in the starting lineup there and definitely contribute, but wouldn't demand the ball as much. So I will throw Memphis in that fucking sweepstakes.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think if that were to happen, they would probably get Zaire Williams the other way.
Oh, that's a big fucking deal. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
is that all we got for today?
pretty damn solid.
All hoop.
There
Anthony
it is.
Simons, your boy, going off.
That's my guy right there. Should we talk about that LeVert trade or save it all for next week?
Yo, also, I'm going to call in now. I'm going to pull in Aulino. Because of what you just told me with the Portland trade, I think they're going all in for Bradley Beal.
Wait, who?
The Portland Trailblazers. I think now that they dump some salary, I think they're going to go and try and get Bradley Beal, buddy.
So everyone thinks they're rebuilding. And then they go get Beal, and then next season they start with Lillard and Beal, and they absolutely fuck everyone up.
Well, dude, here's the thing. You got to remember, Nurkic, I think, is up this year. And he's got a pretty hefty contract. And if I'm Dame Lillard, it's either I want to get the fuck out or because again, they've openly said we want to build around Dame still. So if that's the case and you're shipping out all these contracts, why can't you go after Bradley Beal, the best free agent next year? And he's openly said that maybe Washington, maybe my time is up there.
Yeah, but like it's not the Lakers or Clippers, so it's not going to happen. Boom.
The best move of the day will be the Raptors getting Jakob Poeltl back. Boom.
Let's go. I want that to happen. We need him.
For a conditional first, which we'll go down to a second.
For Dragic, a Chua, and a first.
It's still too much.
As we're on this topic of free agents real quick, last year, since tonight, there's going to be a big ruckus. Tony Khan's already promoting one. Last year ended up being Christian was a game changer, and we saw that turned out. Are they doing their companies like a disservice here by promoting a big free agent, and it could be a guy that's probably not going to be on TV after in the next 5 months?
Take it, buddy.
Take it, buddy. Well, yeah, you know what? It's very WWE of them. Kind of surprised. I've been hearing this forbidden wall talk for a while, and I don't know. I don't mind it. I feel like it's going to be. I've been hearing Keith Lee though. Is that going to be the guy that shows up on Dynamite? And are they going to fucking use him properly?
Oh my God. I didn't even think it'd be Keith Lee. It's just I thought as soon as I saw a ladder match, I just thought Jeff Hardy. So I'm still gonna stick with Jeff Hardy there, just especially off the article I just read the other day where Vince basically said, "Yeah, we want you to go in the Hall of Fame." And he's like, "Yeah, with my brother," and he's like, "No, he's in AEW. Nah, I'm not gonna go then." So I feel like it's family over anything, and I feel like Jeff Hardy. He's going to break through that wall, and he's going to win that ladder match, and he's going to go on for that TNT title shot.
Could you imagine if it's Bray Wyatt and the first match the guy has is a ladder match? Do you think that would be a bad fit?
No, that's a big fat troll because he probably said to WWE, "Yeah, I can't do ladder matches. I'm injury prone." And then this guy goes out. He's going to go through a tables and go through the announce table. And yeah, I mean, if it is Bray Wyatt, that will surprise the shit out of me. But again, like CM Punk came back, so I guess nothing really. Like you gotta like Aulino, think about it. Rusev, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Christian all go to AEW. I would not, and even Big Show. I would not be surprised. And yes, I'm saying all the WWE names. I would not be surprised if any of those guys you guys just mentioned would go there. I would not be surprised at all.
Man.
Should be a fun one. I've been some people trolling about Ryback. That I think would be a bad move. Or do you think that would be a positive?
That guy's gonna stick to his fitness YouTube videos. He's good.
Guy's got a voice for his podcast. It's a good lane for him.
Wake up, feed me more. Shell shock. Cold soup.
Oh yeah, good times. Holy shit.
Well, Pagniello, take us home, buddy.
There it is. Alrighty, that was episode 165. We primarily covered the NBA trade deadline. If anything happens day of, we'll probably touch on it on the next episode. So, yeah, make sure to follow us on all of our socials, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.